Like, like he even has a kid on the way with 2 different kids. And I'm just like, and you're still pressed on wanting to be with him.
And you still think you're the main piece?
Yes,
Welcome back to the podcast, guys. We are your hosts, Natasha
and Steph,
back with another episode like every week, and we have a special guest. Before we get to know her, we do want to give you guys a shout out, a thank you. You guys have been nothing but supportive, and we love it here. Like, the support has been real.
The engagements,
yeah,
the sharing, the likes, all of that.
Yeah, you guys been reposting, so keep doing that. Keep telling a friend, keep telling your girlfriend, your side piece,
your situationship, your baby
everything.
Mama.
Tell the kids too at this point.
Right, we for
tell
the
them
kids.
to subscribe. But yeah, let's get into this episode. I'm excited.
Awesome.
So our special guest today is named Celyna, and she's awesome. She's a social worker. She just got her master's, so shout outs to that.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Awesome. Thank you.
Salud. Sorry. Okay, let's get into it.
Yes.
What should we start with first? So you're a social worker.
Yes, I am. Yes.
Okay. Why social work? Like, why did you choose that as a career?
It's funny. I actually started with teaching. I always wanted to educate the youth and prepare them for the real life situations, things that I was never prepared for.
Right.
Like
I can relate.
Exactly. So I always was just on that street. But then when I got to college and I sat in a few courses, I was like, this isn't it. This is a curriculum. This is set in stone. This is not Celyna's piece. This is what the government is making me say.
Oh.
So with social work, it's a broad, it's a spectrum. And when I took one intro to social class, just as like a elective.
Like an elective.
Yeah, literally an elective. And I fell in love. And I was like, oh crap, this is my calling. Like, I'm here. And I did it. I mean, it's, the main focus is making sure that you're setting up a human being. Doesn't matter what they look like, what they do, what their situation is, you're setting up a human being for success. That's what I want to do. So
isn't that like a little bit scary? Like, I feel like that's like raising kids.
Definitely. I feel like, well, with me, like working in Brooklyn, especially, I work with about, the ages range from 14 to 22 years old. So imagine having teenagers, like teenage kids, basically, and you're literally like keeping it real with them, and that's the problem, is that a lot of people are sugarcoating. And I'm telling you, like, the more you do this, the more, like, this is what's going to happen. I don't want to blast certain, situations, but I have a lot of,
the more you sugarcoat, the less, positive outcomes you'll get.
Exactly. And I see a lot of people telling these youth, well, you have to, like, get good grades. You have to go to college. You have to go to college, but it's not that. You got to figure out who are they? What do they want to do? Because the more you push these, like, oh, well, college makes you this, like, spectacular person, and, like, a degree defines who you are. That's not
the worst.
it.
Like, you're fucking with their mental health.
Yes. That all that does is create depression, stress, anxiety, loans, stress over loans, debt, and it just prepares you for failure, So I always tell my students, like, do what you want to do, not what people are telling you to do, and that's just what we got.
But it's so hard at such a young age, like 14 to 22, when you don't have, like, real life experience to be like, I want to be this. Like, there's some people who can, like, who've always known, like, I want to be a cop.
Age, they're still, like, dreamers kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, you still have, like, because I feel like at that age, I was a dreamer. I'm like, before reality hit me and knocked me the fuck out, I was like, at 14, I was like, when I hit 18, I'm going to get my own apartment. I'll be married. I'm going to have a kid. At 18.
Man. Right?
And then reality hit, I'm like, you know what? It's tough. It's tough out here.
And things happen, and, like, you realize, like, this is probably not the track that I was meant to be on, like, maybe I don't need to, like, go to college. I mean, not to say college is great. Pro college.
Go to school. Stay in school.
Stay in school, kids.
If it's for you. If it's for you.
If it's for you, exactly. Why accumulate all this debt? Why set these kids up to fail in, like, the long run?
Because at the end, you can go to college 4 years and then all of a sudden you change your mind with what you want to do.
You went to Fordham University, right?
Yes, so I went to Fordham.
Like?
It was
in the Bronx.
Right? So I actually did go to Fordham University. Again, I'm from a New York City public school girl, like most people are, but I don't feel like that public school system got me ready for Fordham. Like, it was so tough in the beginning, like, just feeling like, oh crap, like I don't know these things. Like my,
and the
English
people
teacher
around
didn't.
you
Yeah, my papers were hilarious. Yeah, and I mean, I don't know if everyone knows, me and Steph went to high school together, so we had Miss Schoaf. And if you say, like that was the strictest teacher in the world. Like you couldn't like mess up in her class.
She went to Harvard. Oh, Natasha met her.
Yeah,
I did.
When we went to she had a book club kind of thing.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Miss Schoaf. Yo, she's really doing.
She's
good
really
things.
great on time management.
Oh wow, she straightened me up, and I thought, I had Miss Schoaf, I'm good. And I was like, I got to Fordham, and I was like, my papers were a joke. I was like, oh my god, this is embarrassing.
Anxiety.
But I got comfortable the more I was in, but. It was a great experience, Shout out to Fordham. Shout out to my masters from Fordham. I did it, and it was worth it. It was so worth it.
Nice.
But again, I wanted to be a social worker. So now the debt that I have now, I understand. It's like damn. But it got me my dream job. Yeah. It got me my dream job. So that's what really matters.
Nice.
Dealing with kids at that age, is it like? I don't know. Do they give you attitude? Like, are they stubborn?
Are you kidding me?
Because I know at that age.
It's the thing. My name is Miss. Oh man. Well, I'm very strict. So believe it or not, I am maybe twice their height, like shorter wise. Like they are always like 6 feet and above, and I'm only 5 foot. But you have to set that tone in the beginning. You have to let them know, like, I'm gonna keep it as real as you. I curse with my students. Like I talk to them. Yeah, because you have to change your cap. I'm not going to sit here and talk to you very professional when I know that you talk my native language, which is Brooklyn, We have our own language. And I know that if you hear me talk in a way that you understand, you're going to, okay, this is someone who gets me. This is someone who kind of like...
So I guess it's not disrespectful or anything. It's
not at all.
Relatable.
And, I would never curse at them. But like in a sense, as I'm telling them a story, the word shit might come out, can you believe that this bitch, I would say things like that, but... and they like that. They feel comfortable. They feel like, okay, this is not such an authority figure. This is someone that's looking out for me in the long run. And when they mess up, there's jokes. Yeah, like Celyna's boot camp, that's a real thing. Like Miss Wallace's boot camp, we don't want to do that. Like it's because I don't play that. Like I don't play that. But again, it's about your tone, and these are kids who think they are better than you and that they are like, I know it all at 16 years old.
Really?
And it's like, honey.
What do you think about the cancel culture? Like, for example, when they mess up, like, for example, Chrissy Teigen, who she made some mistakes and basically told someone to commit suicide when she was young and misguided. She apologized. She grew from it. But cancel culture is real. What do you think about that? Is that a good, bad situation? Is it healthy, unhealthy?
I don't agree with the cancel culture because I believe that we all make mistakes.
Yeah, how are you supposed to grow if you don't
exactly
have mishaps?
Do you know anyone that is completely perfect that never made a mistake before?
I feel like if we were to make it, listen, they're gonna go back to shit that we said, and we didn't mean that way
already, and we didn't make it.
You see, and it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be that what you say could get you canceled. It should be that you should be allowed to talk. Yes, you grow. And I have students that are. In the streets, gang banging, trying to develop these brotherhoods because they don't have that. So it's like, to them, it's not a mistake making a relationship. But in the long run, sometimes, things may happen where you find yourself in a situation where your bros.
Cost you your life, your freedom.
Sometimes that's all they know. Like, that's their surrounding.
Because they don't have it at home. You know?
Yeah.
Honestly. And it's getting more scary now, especially with our pandemic and just the financial struggle that a lot of people are facing right now. I'm noticing it. I'm just noticing a huge increase in just unhealthy mental health right now. I am.
Do you think it's getting worse?
Oh my gosh. It's getting to the point now where I feel like people are giving up. And, right now I'm working with the court. So I'm dealing with a lot of different cases and stuff. And I'm noticing that these cases, these situations that they're in, it's stealing food from a supermarket to eat, or stealing clothes to clothe their little siblings,
just for survival, not because they want to.
Not because I'm cool for stealing, Carter's infant T-shirts, they obviously are stealing an infant-size outfit for a reason, and instead of just locking someone up for 2 years, let's figure out what we can do to make sure that you don't need to steal clothes.
Yeah.
What you need to do to not steal food, because then...
Is that why you went in that direction, dealing
honestly, yeah. And I had a lot of family members in the correctional facilities and just dealing with anything involving the courts. I've always been around that my whole life. My uncles making, mistakes and stuff, cousins and stuff, but I've always watched them grow, in a different way, when they are inside, but not all of them. I have some God, I feel bad because if they are watching this, they're gonna be like, "How dare she?"
Like, but
that's an inspiration, though.
That's a personal experience that I guess makes you relate more to your clients or your job.
Like, and I let them know, like, I've seen this. I've seen someone go through an attempted murder charge, because they're fending for their life or they're fighting for someone, important to them, like a brother or a sister. But again, a mistake doesn't define someone. Like, and that's how I see it. I mean, I'm not saying like all the pedophiles should be like released. I'm not saying that either. But what I am saying is like, if you look at someone who's stealing food, someone that's stealing clothing, instead of labeling them as this criminal and locking them away for 2 years, let's do something different, And that's what I do now, like my job. That's all we do. So we're like an alternative to incarceration. So instead of someone serving time inside, they come to our program,
Oh, nice.
But it's not your regular drug program, It's not, you're here, we're going to drug test you every week to make sure you're not using and put you in a group about not using drugs. No, we're going to figure out why is it that you need to rely on drugs like Oxycontin, others like sleeping medication, it's not really that.
And kind of like get you out of it so you can deal with
like what's the stress? Like what is causing the stress, And like, we don't force anyone to take drug tests, unless the courts are like, listen, this person needs to get drug tests at least once a month, And then we're like, okay, cool, But we're not going to like pound you down and like, oh my God, like you smoked weed again. Oh crap. Like let's send you away. Like that's it. No, we got to figure out why you're so stressed out. Like what's going on,
How long do your programs like?
Oh, so it depends on your charge. So all our misdemeanor clients, they serve about like 3 months in our program. 3 to 6 months, it depends on the charge, of course. And anyone with a felony or above is always a year, maybe less than a year.
What if like their time to be there is up, but they still want to go? Is that an option?
Oh, yeah. Walk-ins all the time. Yeah, nice. You don't even have to be involved, with the criminal justice. I mean, like, we make sure that we're setting up humans. Like, that's the most important part. It's
that's
human
the bigger
beings.
Goal. What's the bigger goal, though?
The big goal.
Or the dream?
It's honestly to make sure that everyone has the tools to be successful. That
Nice.
no one, no matter what they're going through, has to suffer because they don't have enough resources. They're not living in the right area. They're not working the right type of job. It's about making sure that you're set up. No, if I was not working there and I needed to go to get like employment services, I can do that.
Oh, nice.
Doesn't matter in there. Yeah, and that's what I appreciate. I appreciate the fact that it's not just like, okay, we're going to focus on you not using no more and just like, that's it. No, like we're going to have groups. We're going to have therapy. We're going to have conversations,
I feel like schools should have that too.
Yeah.
Because they have like counselors and shit. But they don't even talk about none of that.
Yeah, not every student gets that. Like you have to be going through like
right. You have to
something
do
that's considered like
have like an IEP. Exactly. And that's like one of the sad things is we don't have enough mental health counselors in school systems. Like that's not a mandatory thing. And it's I'm not saying every kid needs therapy, but I'm saying like it doesn't hurt to talk about mental health once in a while. Or set aside a week of just mental health and no schoolwork. Like I feel like that's possible. Like. It's not going to hurt your education. You're not going to be less dumb because you got a week of just mental health, break, instead of just studying, But
like, for example, I guess a personal experience that we can relate to was when one of the students where we went to high school, Kimani Gray, when he was shot. And I remember that week, like, due to, what do you call it, like Black Lives Matter. I remember that week, everyone in school, even if you knew him or not, everyone was like, it was a rough week for people mentally, whether you were a student, whether you were a teacher,
alumni,
if you were a parent. That was something that was super close to people. And I'm sure the counselor there, it was only one for like 4 different grades, so many kids per grade. So many lives impacted, and it's like people didn't want to go to school. People didn't know what else to do. They wanted to cut class. They wanted to like get violent.
Even if you were around that person, it affects everyone.
Oh my gosh! I mean, I had graduated the year that happened. That was my first year in college, and I remember hearing about it. And I came back to the school.
Yeah.
And I remember checking in on Miss Bray and Miss Transfield, just making sure like they were okay because that's also the administration. Tough. Like that's it's hard on students and that. But it's funny that you mentioned that. You said one person. But how many security guards do we have at our school?
So many.
That's what I mean. Like, and that's what we're experiencing now. There's so much more policing and so much more, like
metal detectors. We have more metal detectors than counselors.
Yes, it's so crazy to me. Like that always bugged me out, and that's what's happening now. Like, but shout out to NYC. I heard now we have social workers on the field with the officers now. So now we're helping out mental health situations. My cousin is actually doing it now, and she's telling me like it's way better than before. You know, like they're able to de-escalate. We go to school 4 years plus for this. We're trained for mental health, like how to de-escalate. So now to have that in the police force, not saying it's going to change tomorrow, but I do feel like that's slowly heading in the right
direction.
You know what? Yeah. Like instead of sending officers that have 2 hours of a class on mental health on how to de-escalate, I think it's better that we have professionals, experts on the field this time. And let's hope that something changes.
Oh, yeah. I believe like after it was like a grandmother that the cops kind of like dislocated her shoulder. After that, they were like, we'll send out people who have like mental health issues. We'll send out people who are trained in that and not cops.
Exactly.
That way, like we'll have less brutality going around. I remember that.
You would think that's like common sense stuff from like jump. Like, you know, like that's something that should have been installed, you know.
Seriously.
But believe it or not, the National Association of Social Workers have been fighting for social workers to be in the police force for like 20 years.
Wow.
Like, so this has been something that they've been always trying to get, but now finally it's in place, you know, and it's, you know, we can't say too much yet, but we're hoping that, you know, statistics show that it increases, you know, like
you're looking at the numbers kind of back up what you guys think. Yeah.
You know?
Nice.
And just,
Damn, that sounds like a lot. Like, how do you deal with that with like the work?
How do you balance your
life in general?
Yeah.
So, like, you know,
family.
You know, and I'm a mom, single mom of an autistic daughter, you know. So I remember in the beginning, I was bringing home my stress. Like, I was bringing home all the work, like all my clients, what they were going through, you know.
It's hard, especially when you empathize. It's hard
because those are my babies. Are you kidding me? Like, all 13 of those 20-year-olds are my kids. I don't care that I'm only 25 years old. Those are my babies. Like, you know, you treat them like that. So, but, you know, I had to learn the hard way, like, how to just balance, you know. Because motherhood always is going to come first. Like, that's something that, by law, to me, it's just it. But I also want my daughter to see her mom making a difference in people and just creating this bridge of, like, successful, I don't know, like mental health, you know, increasing, like, you know, just give me something, you know?
True.
Like,
that's right.
Do you think people like you, like social workers, should be like in therapy? Not for like a bad thing, but like, you know how they say therapists should have therapy?
Yes.
I definitely don't trust a therapist who does not have their own therapist.
Amen.
How?
Really?
Like, really?
Amen. I always tell people, like, that's what I learned in grad school. It's you get a therapist because that's how you, like, you know, like if you really feel like you're having like these feelings of, oh crap, I'm taking work home and I'm just so stressed out and I'm thinking about my kids and I'm thinking about
it's a lot.
It's too much, you know? And it's, you know, I speak to my therapist, well, we you know, it's sometimes I need it weekly, sometimes I need it bi-monthly, sometimes I probably need it every 3 months, you know? It just, it's a way, it really depends.
But it's good to have it. It's good for it to be there.
I'm pro therapy needs, like therapists all need therapy.
Same.
Yes, no, it's hard. You can't.
And that's off my one therapy session that I got like 2 years ago.
I've actually never had one at all, but I want to so bad.
Yeah.
But then I also feel like this is like therapy for me because it's just venting. It's just talking.
True. Yeah,
exactly.
So I feel like that's what I'm gonna do with a therapist. Sometimes, of course, it's gonna be a little bit deeper things that, you know, I probably don't discuss on this pod. But yeah, I pro therapy all the time.
Exactly.
For sure.
You know, and it's really funny that you mentioned that because I do a course on hip hop therapy because it's the same thing. My students are like,
wait, what?
Hip hop therapy?
Cool. I didn't even know that was a thing.
What? She said it like it was nothing. Hip hop therapy. No, tell us more.
Honestly, so hip hop therapy. Shout out to Professor Tyson, may he rest in peace. This is just a theory that you know, it's probably like, I want to say like less than 50 years old. And it proves that lyricism is a way to vent. You know, we have...
I would agree.
Yeah. You know, so this
not
is a
just
curriculum.
for artists, but for listeners
for
as well.
humans, yes. Like, I don't know about you guys, but when I'm stressed out, heartbreak, whatever, I'm blasting music. I'm singing the words to songs that make sense to what I'm going through.
Of course.
So imagine creating things that, and you don't even have to be an artist. Like I tell my students all the time, like I'm not looking for SoundCloud rappers. I'm not looking for anyone that's trying to.
I don't know anyone that can get you out there. Okay?
But if you are, you know, shout out to you.
But you know, but it's
like I'm not trying to sign you or anything.
No, not at all. Not at all. You know?
This is not a record deal, but
exactly. But then the students who are are rappers.
Oh, there are
like,
some.
I do have so many, and when I put them because at the end of the curriculum, I put them in a studio where they can actually work on their final piece and create a track.
You might get signed.
Yeah, so they get so excited. They're like, Miss, you're getting me studio time for free? I'm like, I got you. Come on, like, you know.
Say less.
But, you know, so hip hop therapy, it's a curriculum about like 12 to 16 weeks. And what I do is I really focus on, just like, we go over different lyricists. Like I go over Tupac, I go over J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, Drake, certain rappers, that are saying things in their songs that we don't miss because we hear the beat, like we're not hearing what they're going through.
Joyner Lucas is another one. He has like great messages behind his songs.
Thank you. I always tell students to put me on.
I love Joyner Lucas. Yeah.
See, good.
Yeah.
So you guys have to put me on. See, I have no idea.
His thing sounds like poetry, kind of like, or at least how he writes. Yeah. It sounds like.
No, you gotta listen
to poetry for sure.
His "I'm Not Racist" video. You got to see the video and listen to it because it's like it deals with racism from a person who's black, their perspective, and then from a person who's white, their perspective. And it's like a young black person. And
he's definitely like a storyteller. Yeah.
I should put this in my curriculum.
Yo, put that in there.
No,
shout us out.
Yeah, talk your shit there.
No, but definitely always tell yo, shout us out. Yo, I mean, I don't rap, but
right? No, but and it's like that because it's again, I'm working with a minority population. I get Hispanic, I get African American, I get so many different, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, those are what I get. Sometimes I get Asian population as well, but they don't know how to talk to a therapist. Like you said, they don't know.
I feel like minorities were never taught. Like that wasn't even a thing.
No, my mom was like, you don't need therapy. You're not crazy.
As soon as you say therapy,
you do not have to be crazy.
It's a trigger.
They're like, yo, no, because I was told by, my mother, I don't want to, by a close family an anonymous person. But no, she said that like if you do get too intense in therapy, they might think you're actually crazy, and they might have to do some things that
Yeah, and that's funny because we do for me, I'm trying to do the opposite. I am not trying to diagnose you. Okay. I'm trying to see but if I feel like you need to be diagnosed, of course I'm going to diagnose you. But if I feel like, let's keep talking, wait, we're getting somewhere, let's focus on that. But I'm not going to focus on, she's telling me too much, she might be crazy,
yeah, that's what she's doing.
But that's what my mom told me too. It's like, don't tell them all your business. You might
walk out of there strapped up. I'm like, I won't go.
All hooked up on medication and stuff. Oh man, that was my mom's big. And even to this day, I still feel like my mom is not okay with mental therapy, but yet loves what I do. And I'm just like, but I am.
Does she get free, I guess, sessions with you?
Oh, basically, yeah. Yeah, she's so lucky. And all my friends too. I feel like a lot of my friends, no offense, friends, but I feel like a lot of them are coming to me for advice now, and it's like they want to hear my opinion so bad, and it's like, wait, I don't want to diagnose you. They're like, you think I'm bipolar? I'm going to tell you why. And I'm like, wait.
Do you feel that with this podcast too?
That it's a therapy session?
Yes, no, but they start asking me questions, and I'm like, I'll discuss it on the pod. I don't know. They'll be like, how do you feel about this?
I just want to let it be known that we do not have all the answers, especially, I feel like when we do the Put Yourself in My Shoes segment, we give you advice, but that doesn't mean you have to take it. We're just like, this is what we would do, but if this is not your situation,
but it's always good to hear,
exactly. Same with social work, we're not here to tell you what to do. We're here to tell you the steps that will help you. But if you don't want to take it, you don't have to. It's up to you, I'm just here to help as much as I can,
Right.
And, and it's funny because the way how I really engaged my students was I was actually doing my field placement. So I wasn't getting paid. So I would tell them, I'm here for free. I am not even getting paid for this. I am getting college credits, which is great. But to them, college credits is nothing. They were like, oh, so you're not even getting paid and you actually give a crap about me? You actually care about what I have to say? And that's important to let them know as well that, because as the world knows, social workers make $0. We are on the lowest.
Just hear off the strength, but we appreciate it.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
Don't let nobody tell you different.
No, and shout out to social work. We need more money. No offense.
Yo, for real.
But therapy ain't cheap either.
Seriously.
I need to be compensated. No, but I love what I do. But
we need more people like that, not just in social work, but in any field. Yeah. Just show up loving what you do.
Teachers like that, because I dealt with some teachers when I was in school, and they weren't the best teachers. They didn't care. Mm-hmm. They were there to do their job, and that was it. And it was
or maybe because they couldn't get anything else, so they landed them there.
You can tell. You can literally tell when someone is just there to just do their job and head out.
Not and having someone like that in your life kind of influences you if you look up to them. Yeah. It influences you to all right, I'm going to do what they do. They look like they doing it right, and they don't even like what they do. So I'm going to just get a job that does the same thing for me, and I'm not going to like it. And if it worked out for them, it's going to work out for me. And it's really not true, because when you see someone like that versus someone who loves what they do and get paid for what they do,
I've had teachers teachers that like till this day, like I can think about them, like I'm doing something and I'm like, oh my God, I remember when this person said this to me, and like it stuck with me.
Yes.
Because they loved so much of what they did, and they were like trying to actually
shout out to my teacher,
because I was someone that was I was someone that was always cutting class every single day, and they like cared. They would, you know, do their best to like, you know, put in the right direction. Yeah. And like, so.
Like what is it that you need for you to stay in class? You know, like they're looking for that.
Like, let me help you. Yes. How can I get you into class and
not
stay?
Write you up, not send you to detention, but
I want you to pass.
Yes, you know, and that makes you feel different, you know?
Exactly.
And also not just teachers, but like if you have friends who genuinely look out for you and want the best for you, and like they're like, don't do this, try this, or I know of someone who can help you with that. Like you want to have people around that can help level you up too.
Yeah,
exactly.
Positive vibes only. Okay.
Yeah, that was great. I love this mental health episode.
Me too.
Do you want to get into trendies?
We can. Let's do it because I'm down. This we're gonna switch it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Awesome.
So I saw this post on Hollywood Unlocked that says. First of all, okay? Anyways, men are really the prize because at the end of the day, he's going to be with the woman he wants. Women are going to be with the men that's available. What? So how do you guys feel about that? Because, hold on, wait a minute.
Yeah. I 1 out of 10 would not recommend. I don't agree. Like,
why don't you agree?
Because I don't feel like women stay with whoever's available. There's mad people who's available and I'm not with them. So that does not, I don't feel like that can relate. But I guess there are some people who settle, but there are other women who are like, no, this is not for me. I know what it is. Like 1 door closed, but 3 more are going to open. So.
And you know what's the craziest thing about this? A woman posted this.
I mean, if that's how she feels, that's how she feels.
And why do I feel like it's like one of my clients that posted that? Because that's a lot.
I'm gonna send you her thing later.
It might be. Oh, because that's like what my girls are feeling. Like they just feel like a man is like supposed to be like this, like, oh, where he got like 6 side hoes, but I'm the main one. And it's like, no.
Hold on, wait a minute.
You know, and I'm like, oh man.
Wait, how old are they? How old are they?
16 to 18, maybe some are 20. Like
at that age.
And I'm just like. I'll be dead. No, honey, I'm the prize. Like, you want to be with someone like me. Like, no. It's not who's available. It's about if you think, like, no. Is
that what you say to them?
Oh, I tell them all the time. Really? It's about self-love and self-worth. You don't have that at that age. You know, you're at that age. Yeah. And now all these,
they want to be accepted. They want to be down with whatever's going on.
They want to have they want to look like what they're seeing also. You know, they want to have. Media. Yes, they want to have the bodies like Alexa Sky. You know, they want to have like these.
Kim K
bodies, you know, and like they're trying their hardest. Oh my God, they try their hardest, you know. And I don't knock anything. I believe in
whatever makes you love yourself.
Yes, exactly. Whatever love you, do what you got to do. Mm-hmm. I just, you know, feel like my girls at 16 should not be so pressed on like this man doesn't like me because his main chick got a bigger butt than me. So I've been saving up, miss, for a Brazilian butt lift. And I'm like, you're 16 and you're preparing yourself for
this? And how does this guy already have side hoes? Like, how old is he?
Oh my God.
He's like, I'm one of them. But
listen, and it's
the
like,
main
if
one.
he posts you on social media, you won. It's like marriage to them. It's like, God. Oh, well, he posted me last night, so I know I'm the...
That means nothing, though. You could get posted 1,000 times.
Yes.
And some other girls don't care. They're like, oh, you have a girlfriend? I'm kind of into you more.
It's like a turn on to them. Yeah. It's like, oh, so you're loyal. Like, you actually post your girl. Yeah. Like, I want that.
And they think that because they do that with that girl, they're going to do it with them.
Yeah,
so it's
that's
like...
crazy.
Which is crazy. It's like, listen, if he's cheating on you, don't you think if y'all get together, he's gonna cheat on you?
If you met him as the side girl, don't you think
he gonna get himself?
Yes,
that don't add up.
But you know, and I'm trying to think like when I was 16, like was I like pressed on that? And I remember like being like boy hungry or thirsty, whatever the term was, you know, in high school. Like, you know, because at that age, like my mom finally let me do my eyebrows. If not, I had one eyebrow in middle school. So if you knew me, you knew me.
That's important. That's important.
Yes, and my mom finally let me get all cute in high school. So I was getting attention. I was like, oh, this is nice. Like,
I like that.
Yeah, boys are looking my way. Like, they actually think I'm the cute friend now, you know? And then it just, like... I don't know. As I got older, I was like, oh, how pathetic I was. Like, so fiended out, but like to turn around, and it's crazy. But now my students are so pressed. I have one student that, you know, I'm not going to say too much, but she created a whole social media to like stalk this person. I hear these things. I hear about people creating fake pages.
Yeah,
you know, and
Finstas.
Yeah, Finstas. And I'm just like, okay, so what did you find in your, FBI search? And she's like, oh, miss, I found out everything. Like, like he even has a kid on the way with 2 different kids. And I'm just like, and you're still pressed on wanting to be with him.
And you still think you're the main piece?
Yes, but that's, so that's like, that post really makes me like get into the head of my young girls now.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering why. Like, what is causing this?
Just the other day, me and Stephany were having a conversation how, like, there were people that, when we were younger, well, guys, we used to think that they were the shit. You know what I mean? Oh, my
God. Like, the
shit. Like, we were here, and they were like, yo.
We're like, yo, we want to get with that one day. And now
we're not going to say who they are, where they are, whatever. But shout out to them. Shout out to them. Yeah.
But now that we can...
It's like, now it's like, oh,
I'm like, Natasha, you got
this. I love that you're doing this. I love that you're a podcast. And they're still in the same, like, place, which is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to be, in the same place. Sometimes you're just stuck, which is okay. Mm-hmm. But it's like, they're not as, like... We were not as in love as we were when we were younger. Yeah. Like, when you grow up, you're like... What was I thinking? Like,
exactly. Oh man.
They look the same. Everything is the same. But when you're 16, 17,
and we're finally getting the attention that we wanted, but we're like, we're good now.
Exactly. When you're 16, 17, you like fall in love so fast, and your mind just like, I don't know, like it's. Listen, girls, if you're 16, 17, take your time. I promise you that pretty boy that you thought was pretty ain't gonna be that pretty.
Please.
And there's a lot of guys out there,
Oh, man. And
focus on you. Yeah, focus. I feel like that Will Smith quote that you said, that when he said that you should love yourself.
Yeah, you should already be happy just
within yourself,
on you. And then if someone else comes along in your life, like, they add to your happiness, but you're not sad without them.
Yes,
exactly.
That advice, take it. Yes. Take it.
Yes.
100%. But yeah, that was my trendy.
Nice.
I guess
we can do fun facts.
Go ahead. Do your thing.
All right, so this is, we just have one. And because it's Pride Month, happy Pride.
Woo. Shout out to my mom.
Nice.
My mom has been with her partner since I was like 16 in high school.
Oh, yeah. You guys used to go to the school dances.
Yes, my stepmom is a DJ.
Really?
Yes. Yes.
Did you go to one of the school dances?
Yeah,
she was there?
Yes, my mom was there with her partner.
There, her mom, her partner, everybody
and
was
everyone
there.
was like, your mom is a lesbian? And I was like, yeah. And this was like right when gay rights had passed for all 50 states. And I was like, had the little rainbow gear. I was like, my mother's gay. Woo-hoo. Like, I was so proud of her, but...
Nice. So happy Pride. So this one is from @Trevor Project from Instagram. And basically they said transgender and non-binary youth who have their pronouns respected by most people in their lives are 50% less likely to attempt suicide.
Oh, of course.
And that's awesome.
Of course. And we, even on our application, it says, what are your pronouns?
Oh.
Like that. I feel like that's when I meet you, I want to know your pronouns, especially in this day and age where I feel like
Demi Lovato kind of thing.
Yes, because you never know.
That's very different though. The one with Demi Lovato is very different to me. Like she wants
you gotta use like them
and they. Like that's how she wants to. Like that one is very different.
So my trick is just say the name, like the first name, like whatever their first name is. That's how I do it, especially in my case notes, because it's very important that you respect the. Whenever we meet with a client, always have to do some case notes, and I always make sure if they want to go by Mr. And I clearly know that they're in a transitional period, I always make note of that. Like, this person goes by Mr. Therefore, and then I continue, or if I get too stuck and I don't know how to say them and they, I'm still struggling. I'm not going to lie to you.
It's a difficult one, but I'm sure, like, with practice, we'll get there. Yes. Everyone's pronouns will be respected.
Exactly. So. And worst case scenario, go by what their name is, Like, that's what I always say, important. Especially with students. And, again, always ask, like, to shout out to my social workers that are in this era right now where we have to be sensitive. You never know.
Yeah.
We have a client right now who's dealing with the courts and, they're a transgender person, and to get them housing is very difficult because a lot of times it's like all these men shelters, but never men transitioning to women shelters. So
that's true.
Where do you?
That's true.
And there's not that many LGBTQ centers,
For
it's we have, but they're filled. There's only so many. So it's very hard, and you want to make sure that everyone is safe and comfortable.
Yeah.
You don't want to
put accounted for and feels like they don't have to lie on their application.
Yes.
For some housing.
No, never. You never should have to lie about who you are.
Yeah.
Point blank.
I just want to say I identify as she. Thanks, Natasha.
Same.
Just in
Same
case.
here. She, am.
Do you have another one?
I do, but you want to get into the products or put yourself in my shoes?
You could do the other one.
All right. Next fun fact. This is from UberFacts. It says your very existence is a miracle. So when you combine the chances of your ancestors reaching reproductive age, maintaining a continuous lineage, and your parents meeting and successfully reproducing, like the odds of your birth were essentially 0. So basically, you're a miracle. So treat yourself like a miracle.
I love that.
Queen, okay? Kings
Self-worth
and queens.
is the best worth.
Yes, yes. I tell my girls this, man. That's all what we focus on. Self-love, man. Like, that is so important. And it's...
I feel like teaching that. How do you guys feel about that? Apparently, there's a school out there. I can't remember the name of the school, but there's a school out there that's teaching. This is not about mental health, but they are teaching about sex ed to kindergartens.
Oh,
To kindergarten, you know what?
How do you guys feel about
It's
that? Because
tough.
that's very different.
Yeah, it is
But
tough because they're at that age where like they're probably like, I don't want to say like masturbating because they're kids, but they might be exploring themselves, and they're like, oh, this is different, this is new, like I like how this feels, and they don't necessarily know like, yo, I can't do this in public, or like I'm kind of like exposing myself kind of thing.
But in kindergarten,
so,
though?
yeah, I don't know if kindergarten, because you don't know people's like mental state, especially kids'
but
mental
like,
state.
what kind of sex ed? Like, are we talking about sexual intercourse? Or are we talking
Some
about
of
body parts?
the writing that I was doing, it was like, oh, I shouldn't touch myself here, even though something about it feels good.
Ooh.
I mean,
Yeah, like it was kind of intense.
I would agree on like letting them know, like, listen, you shouldn't let anyone else touch you.
Yes.
Like,
Teaching boundaries.
Yes.
Boundaries.
If sex ed for kids who are in kindergarten, it deals with that, like knowing who's allowed to touch you, if you want them to touch you, or like, depending on who you like. Because there can be kids who are, boys but identify as girls, or vice versa. So it's like, but it's good to know, to have your boundaries at a young age, because some kids get molested and they're that's
what
like,
I was thinking about.
I didn't know that wasn't supposed to happen, kind of thing. But
my
if you
social worker brain turned on when you said that. I was like, and that's a way for, because a lot of the times, like when I hear my students talk and they're saying like, yeah, I was molested at 5 and 6, I'm like, what?
Right. Like,
yeah.
Like, it's insane. 5 and 6
But
students
usually,
are getting molested,
not usually, but the stories that I've heard are usually from older people that are doing that to the kids.
Yeah.
Like, I've never heard from kid to kid. But I do think
like,
they should be taught at a young age. I don't know if kindergarten
if it's that kind of sex ed, if it's like, like where the babies come from, I don't think that's the right age.
I don't think so
But,
either. Keep it that the swan dropped off, the stork, whatever he is flying, the stork took, dropped off.
Santa brought it for Christmas, kind of thing.
Yes. But like, maybe like, I would, probably middle school, I wish that they did a little bit more sex ed for me.
Oh.
Like, my middle school sex ed was about menstrual cycle, which was cool because I feel like my mom, like, was very vague with that. It was like, listen, and I was a very late person. Like, I didn't start menstruating until I was way later. Like, all my friends already doing it. I wasn't. So, but, middle school like that, it was a woke period, but I wish that they taught that, like, more like, it's not appropriate to, touch your, things like that. But I don't think in elementary or kindergarten.
Yeah, I don't think they're there at that age.
No, but talk about boundaries. Talk about how nobody should touch your private, or like if you feel uncomfortable with someone hugging you in a certain position, then
Speak
you
up.
should be But I don't agree with like, no, like don't touch yourself in kindergarten. Like what?
And that also fucks up with their mental health too, I think.
Yes.
Just talking about things like that.
Yeah.
And
you're speeding them up. Like calm down. They're babies. Keep them innocent. Did you see that? I'm sorry. There's like cartoons now, which I'm all for, like showing like pride stuff, which I'm all for it. However,
which one?
Oh man, what's that?
Really?
I saw something
only heard, like SpongeBob. No,
I think it was Blue's Clues. I know that they put out this awesome music video, and it was like it was talking about the ABCs, but it was like a pride festival. So it was
cool.
I thought that was beautiful. I was like, that's fabulous because you're introducing it to them, but you're not showing men kissing.
Yeah.
And I remember there was some show. Oh man, maybe it was like a fake thing on TikTok, but I saw something where like two characters. I don't think it was the Rugrats. I don't know what show that got like rebooted, and they made an episode where it was like the parent came out as gay and they were just like showing public affection.
Yeah.
You saw it?
Public affection should be on like a cartoon.
It was a lot.
It was a lot, but I do think that the talk of it at this age, I think it's okay. You know, I people are like, oh, I don't think you should put pride stuff on children yet, but they're seeing it more and more.
Yeah.
Some kids have two dads.
Yeah, that's
true.
So
to them, that's like, okay, I'm not normal because I don't have a mom and a dad. So to include them a bit, I'm liking it. Yeah. But I'm not liking the PDA.
Because also there's TikTok, okay? TikTok, it has been like the number one app where you can literally learn everything.
Yes.
So, and kids are on that.
Yes.
And the shit you learn on there sometimes are not for kids. No. But like parents, you know, they just download the app, give it to the kid, enjoy. Yeah. Because it's just videos. But you don't know sometimes what the kid is like scrolling through.
Yeah.
So it's like if they don't learn it in school, they might learn it
on the internet.
On social media.
Oh, and it's scary because when we were growing up, we didn't have technology. I know you guys grew up like, you know, we
didn't have social media.
Not like that. Not like this. Not like
we
now.
had technology like the paint, like the paint thing.
Remember paint on Windows? Oh,
on Windows, like you could paint the brushes.
Yeah.
But that's it. Or like Minecraft, something like that.
All our things were on the computer.
Minesweep,
Like once we left the house,
but no internet.
We didn't have any of that.
No, I remember if you had to go to the internet, you had to disconnect the phone cable.
Yes.
Out the wall to put the internet. And like we would only be able to use like KOL, which is like kids internet. So you couldn't even go on like MySpace.com at that time.
I feel old. I feel so old.
Ew. But these kids are growing up on technology. And like their mental health to me is getting screwed. I don't care what anybody says. I feel like social media is definitely screwing with mental health on young girls. Because they're seeing what they should be. Young men. Oh, yeah. Okay,
on young people.
Men too. Yeah, you're right. Young people in general. But I do think that as they grow up in this era of technology and social media, the more they want to be like the people that they're seeing. We didn't have that.
I agree with that.
You know, we didn't have that. We weren't looking up to like Black China, you know? We weren't looking up, oh man, that is an idol to a lot of my girls.
Still not looking up to her, but till this day. But shout out to the people that's their idol.
You know? But it's like, you know, but like, it bugs me out. It really bugs me out. And I'm trying to keep, my kid is only 3, and it's
gonna be tough.
It scares me. It really scares me, but we'll see.
Especially now, like, you know, my nephew went to school. His first experience with school was at home with a tablet online.
You see?
Then he actually got to go, but it's like, it's not the same. I never got a chance to like just stay home and I'll be in school on my tablet. Yeah. Like that was never a thing.
Oh my god, my first phone was in 8th grade. That's crazy. Like now I think about it, my cousins are like in 2nd grade with cell phones or iPhones. I'm like, what?
Privilege.
I was just chirping my way around places in 8th grade.
Right.
It's crazy.
Okay, so talking about mental health. If you're someone who suffers from mental health, anxiety, then keep listening because you might love these products, okay?
Yes.
So before anything, we want to thank our sponsors, Charlotte's Web, for sponsoring this video. If you guys don't know about Charlotte's Web, they're an amazing company that they support, you know, relaxation. They support calmness, like peace, you know, what we need in this life because it's fucking intense out here.
Calmness when you're dealing with stress, when you're dealing with like sleep problems.
Yeah.
You know, we're not saying that it will solve it, but it will definitely help your sleep cycle. So, for example, we've tried the lime gummies and Natasha really loves the sleep ones.
And the oil.
Yes. The sleep one has melatonin. The lime one doesn't. It's really for calm. There's another flavor, like the ginger one, the ginger gummies. They help inflammation. Yeah. So I guess when you go to the gym or even if you're injured, they help with inflammation. And we've been trying.
Yeah, we've been trying these products for about like over a month now.
Yeah.
And we can't get enough. Yeah. Just because, like, especially the oil for me, it's like now I'm loving it more and more.
They're all hemp extract infused.
Awesome.
So yeah, CBD basically. So they're non-GMO, gluten-free, kosher, like vegan. What else you want? Like,
right. And I love that they're a family-owned company. Like that just sounds great to me. Like, I don't know. Like it sounds like I could trust them for some reason. Because you know, me and my family, we want that. Like we want to own a company that you know. Hopefully, and
comfortable. Not only us, our family have tried it as well.
Yeah, so, my brother. You already know my brother being there. So yeah, but yeah, use our code because we have a code. And get 15% off. The code is TYSP. Okay, and the link is gonna be in the description below.
Yeah,
but yeah.
We hope you enjoy and you love it as
much as we do. I know, because we got to get refills.
I can't wait to try it myself because Lord knows I need help with my sleep. Oh, man. Like,
yo, it helps. Like, you sleep like a baby. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, it's not going to fix anything, but it's just having that calmness, that relaxation is important.
It is.
Especially
it just helps reduce stress, which is like a thing.
Needed.
Form of self-care.
It's
increasing mental health right there. Yes. Like, it's one of those forms, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, so let's get back into this video. Do you want to go put yourself in my shoes?
Yes.
Okay.
So the put yourself in my shoes that we have today, by the way, if you don't know what it is, this is basically where we just give you advice on your situation or your friends or your baby mamas, anybody's situation. It's anonymous. You send it in. We discuss it with our guests, by ourselves. So this one, it's regarding the person who sent about their situation dealing with, I guess, their baby father.
Yeah, so this is something we've already discussed.
Yes.
But we want to hear other people's perspective, especially somebody that has a kid. Because we don't have no kids, but we still give our perspective. Yeah, that don't stop us, okay?
Yes, co-parenting is tough, but okay.
Exactly. And we're going to keep it going with guys, because we want to hear guys' perspective on this too. Mm-hmm. But, so this situation goes as follows. It was this is very interesting. So, it stays anonymous. But someone sent this to me. It says, talk about being in love with a broke nigga. Okay, we're going to say guy, okay? Even though I already said nigga. And can't get out of that relationship. Okay? So apparently she says that her kid loves them together. So that's one thing that's keeping them together. And she's been trying to,
she's been holding it down.
Motivate him. They've already had the conversation already of like what he should do, but apparently he just wants to stay home, do nothing.
Yeah, I think he's unemployed, and she's been holding it down for like a few years.
Yeah, it's been a couple years.
Yeah, to get a job, to like maintain or help out.
Yeah, at this point, she doesn't feel like he's the one for her.
I was gonna ask that question. How does she feel? Because
she does not feel like he's the one, but also she cares, of course, the baby, of course. Because nobody wants to grow up in a broken home. I feel like that affects mental health, too.
Yeah, but I don't feel like that it's broken just because your parents aren't together. Like, it just means they're not together, it didn't work out. Because what if they would have been together and fighting all the time?
Yeah, but as a kid, you don't understand that. Like, I feel like you understand that as you grow up. Like, you're like, okay, I understand that my mom, and my father was like this. And, like, I get both perspectives. Mm-hmm. But, like, growing up, I feel like, especially with the friends around who probably do have family that are still together, it's like, why don't I have that? Why don't I do this?
I was that kid. All my cousins had their mothers and fathers, and I was the only one from a single mom.
Exactly.
So I get it.
Exactly. So it's like, as a child, it'll affect you once you start growing up and understanding.
Yeah.
So I guess the question is, do you think she should stay or she should dip or?
It's bad because I'm probably giving out too much personal, but I literally that was me. Like, I was in something for the kid and not for me.
Oh.
And it wasn't okay on my mental health. When I tell you that I was developing anxiety, depression, because I was doing so much to keep this alive, and I realized, like, yo, you can't do that to yourself. You literally cannot suffer yourself, because the more you suffer, the more your kid watches you suffer.
Yeah.
And I had a rude awakening, It's
if you're not good, they won't be good, because they're not seeing you be good.
And
sorry, there's one more thing I didn't mention. Yeah. So apparently, the way she says this, she said that his family are bums. So apparently that's like all he knows.
Okay. So none of them work. So he doesn't know how to.
He doesn't know anything else. Like, this is, so she's saying, like, she even says, like, what she thinks. Like, she says that that before you get with someone and have a child with them, you should, like, know their flaws and stuff. Get to know their flaws and their family, and the family is very important. She said all of these things, but she's saying that their family, is like a reflection kind of him. Mm-hmm. So she doesn't want to be a part of it, but she just don't know how to go about it. So what do y'all think she should do?
That's hard. I mean,
it's tough.
I see. Thank God you told me that piece, because now I'm wondering, like, did he see that? Like, is that all he knows? Like, what's going on with him as well? So, like, you really want to understand what he's going through. Why isn't there motivation? What is causing him to want to stay home? Is it because is that all he knows? But you just answered that for me. So now I'm thinking, like, all right, so what could we do to understand what is it that you want to do with your life? Like, if he was my client, honestly, like, it's less of a conversation with her and it's more of a conversation with him if she wants to keep this, alive. But if she feels like he's not the one, I also don't agree with her forcing.
And also, it's been years. So if you were in that,
that's giving me a heart attack.
Exactly. So if it were you and you've been trying, you've been having this conversation.
I was in her shoes,
and it's but no change behavior.
Yeah. See, that was my issue. I mean, it wasn't about someone like not being motivated because that was fine. But it was just the issue of not having that mutual love for someone due to an issue, due to behaviors, I guess you can say,
Yeah.
So I kind of remember just being like, okay, but I want my kid to not go through what I did, not having a dad in my life, So I'd rather take that heat on of being unhappy to be with someone. Really? So that's what I was thinking, And then after a while, I was like, no, like I can't do this no more.
But how do you have the conversation with the kid then?
Yeah, what was that 3. Like explaining?
Well, again, I have an autistic daughter, so it's a little bit different, but she also has like other, separation with her mom. Like she loves me to death. Obviously, I'm her go-to human. So with her, even when I was with her dad or not, she was always so attached to me and never really cared about others. So she doesn't care about who's in the house or not. Like, as long as my mom is home,
you're there.
like, everybody else is chopped liver, So
that's cute.
With her, she doesn't understand yet. But when it gets to that point, it gets to that point, But with her, I also feel like she's doing the right thing by reaching out. Because that's how you know that she's coming to terms with, okay, maybe this is not what I want, Do
you think they should, like, do couple therapy or...
Because
therapy is important. It should...
No, I believe in couples therapy, of course. But I believe in couples therapy only if both parties want to do this. Like I see it all the time. It's always one person wanting to do it and the other person just like being dragged.
And they're like, I'm here because she told me to be, or I'm here
because
he wants to come.
Yes. No one wants to deal with, not deal with it, but like on a therapeutic end, we want to make sure that we're helping you become successful and understand what's happening so we can, prepare you.
You have to want that more than
I
therapist.
Want that for you, And that's how I feel like it always is. I feel like I always want the best for my client, and I want them to do this.
It sounds like she knows.
I feel like she knows.
What she should
you
do.
In denial, girl.
No. It sounds like she knows what she should do and like what to do. It's just she doesn't know like how to take the first step, I guess.
Yeah,
because it sounds like she's already saying like, she's over it. He's not the one. She's there for the kid.
Yeah.
So it's like all these things. She already knows what she should do.
And that's the struggle with momhood also. It's like we forget that we were someone before we became moms. And what happens is we put everything before ourselves. Like, and that is something that I feel like mental health, again, fits in. Mental health fits in with everything with me. But
seriously. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's true.
Simply that. Like, like you have to... It's that, okay, what kind of respect do I want as a woman? Like, what is it that I want my kids to see? How not life should be, but like what happiness is, what it is to be not successful, because every success also is different. When I say success, I always tell my clients, it's not about having the luxuries, the money, the material things. Success meaning that you have that inner happy success.
And it's whatever success means to you.
Yeah.
Exactly. With riches as well. Some people's riches is just like having a roof over their head. Like some of my clients are like, oh, miss, my fridge is stocked this week. Like, thank God, like, and that's their success. A lot of people don't have that, Exactly. Whereas other successes are, I hit like 10 mil finally in my bank account, And it again, differs. That's why I always say, like, it's very important that you know what you want and what yourself, like, needs,
Yeah, I would say the same thing. Like, I feel like putting yourself first
is always important.
Is always important, and your child is gonna see that, like they're gonna feel it, rather than like you being very depressed in a relationship that you don't want to be in. I feel like it affects the kid even more. So as someone that didn't grow up like with a family
and turned out
exactly, I feel like as long as you show your child enough love, you like as long as they don't feel alone, they don't feel like the pain or anything of like a broken home, they're gonna be okay. If they need therapy, listen, we all do.
We in there. We
all do. Everybody do.
And again, it's about how you make the co-parenting, because you probably won't even need to like stress out or traumatize your kid. You literally could probably do this. I mean, it's I feel like I have a great co-parenting right now situation happening, and I feel like my daughter sees a difference. I feel like she sees her mom more happy.
Yeah, but once you start dating, you know what I mean?
Oh, let's talk about that.
Once you start dating, co-parenting, she's seeing another guy or like
we had a trendy regarding that. Like, does that add value to the dating scene, or does it
having a
like,
kid
decreased value.
But what I'm saying, it'll still fuck up, with the mental health thing with the kid. Like, once they see another man around.
Yeah, but it also depends on what this man is doing for this kid. Like, if this man is
how much love he shows,
Yeah, like, if he's making the child feel included, if he's doing things like kid activities, if he wants to... So I'm actually in a situation now where I'm actually dating, co-parenting, and it is the hard. It like made co-parenting go like it drops a bit, But I feel like if I'm with someone that's putting my kid first before me, that's what I want. Like if you're sacrificing your Sundays to make it a family day, and every Sunday has been family day, to me that shows that you want to include my child in this happiness.
Yeah.
And I feel like, but again, it's not all the time. Sometimes it could be that the mom is always out at night and doesn't get to spend time with the kid because this guy is keeping them away from the kid.
Yeah.
You see, so when I actually watched that episode and I was like, holy crap, like this is exactly, like I think you guys said some type of trendy. It was a similar situation like where dating with a kid, like, like how hard is that? I was like, oh crap, this is exactly what I'm going through. Like, what do I do?
It's tough.
How can I like this 1,000 times?
Yes, how can I oh man.
It's tough.
But it's hard, and I think that it's important that you put your happiness first as moms. We were someone before, and if our kid sees us happy, it's great.
I guess I would say choose your hard. Like,
yes.
Being miserable in that and seeing your kid happy because you're with the parent is hard, but also not being with that parent and co-parenting, but being happy, that's hard too on your kid. But like, choose your heart.
Yeah.
Nothing's gonna be
I think
easy.
they just focus on like protecting a kid, but listen, your kid is gonna be fine.
Yes.
Because you always want to protect the kid as like any way you can.
Yeah.
Not only like physically, whatever you want to mentally. You don't want them to go through what you're going through, but at the end of the day, it's so much you can do.
Amen.
Be happy.
Yeah.
But that was our put yourself in my shoes.
Thank you so much for coming, Celyna.
Of course.
We love having our favorite social worker.
That makes me feel so good.
We hope you come back. And we just want to thank everyone for watching. Make sure you follow us at Talk Your Shit Pod on Instagram or on Twitter. Yes, our personal accounts are StephanieMX3.
Barcasel.
Do you want to give any account they can follow?
Yeah, so Celyna Wallace. It's a little spelled a little different. So that's I'm sure you
we'll
guys
put it. Yeah, we'll put a link
there.
to.
Yeah.
Do you want them to follow like any social?
Please.
Any
So
mental health?
what I like to if you follow my my professional account that I put out there, that's all about mental health. That's all about anxiety treatment. So if you want to just like figure out some type of technique, I say follow that.
Go there.
Yeah, and I
put that there.
Yeah, please, because that's what I focus on. I want to make sure it's out there, the information that I'm gathering, and I always cite the source. So
nice.
It ain't coming from me sometimes. It's coming from the source.
That's important. That's important.
And we want to shout out our favorite executive producer, Gabriel, who couldn't be here today, but we love you, boo. So follow him at LFN Network, at Producer Ghana, that's his personal, and at Learn Filmmaking. And remember that we talk our shit now,
so you can talk your shit later. Bye.